You make big calls, and sometimes you get called out for them, so well done to Dezu. He has taken you to task. And game one underway, already starting off a little bit scary. Bob still trying to start things off with a flip reset. And Mars able to make a clear on the second attempt. But a little bit of a rattle the cage start for Florida Poly, and they look to do a little bit more of that here.
I think a lot of people are curious to see how this Florida Poly team does as we get underway against Platteville. And again, I think this is going to be a very interesting matchup as Florida Poly already has a lot of pressure. They might find the first goal as that shot goes a bit wide.
Rex, that's a great tip off the backboard. Mars has a chance to find a nice welcoming clear out into that midfield, but unfortunately Rex just punts it right back towards the net, keeping the pressure on that Pioneer defense. Dezu trying to fake out fluff ball. Well-controlled approach, though, to the ball, however. And finally, Platteville have a little bit of space to work with here on their own half, but still having to absolutely battle for possession as Bob still getting in Rex's face. Finally leaves it open for Dezu, but he undershoots it. And Mars is finally going to break him out past the slow, looking for fluff ball, but high and out of reach. And Florida Poly are going to regain possession here.
And Florida Poly definitely have had the advantage right off the bat. I think Platteville is trying to figure out how to play up to the speed that Florida Poly are bringing to them. And I think they are slowly getting into it as they do break out from their own half. Slow, try to get a piece of Rex. This one's going to go a bit high. And can Mars follow up? He can. And Platteville, after all that pressure, after 5 saves, get on the board.
Yeah, Dezu makes a good touch, but Bob still, and I believe Rex, double commit on the same ball. Neither of them get a piece. And Bob still expecting that second touch to come off the backboard from Dezu. Unfortunately couldn't get there, and so he didn't have the time to make the adjustment to the shot. And UWP weather everything and start off out in front here in game one as Fluffball looking for a pass, but not even going to have the opportunity to have someone in position. Slow does not shoot it slow enough, just fast enough to get through Rex.
And Rex actually pulls off the ball and realizes his mistake. And unfortunately, that exposed the net. Florida Poly, very crucial mistake there. And unfortunately now for them, find themselves in the hole down 2 goals.
Rough start for Florida Poly, despite having some great approaches on offense. Getting the hole early. Never easy to fight back from an early 2-0, because you know that at that point, that defense is going to be able to just sit there and turtle up, and they don't have to take risks. As Bob still looking for Rex, but Rex was headed out. I think he realized the pass was coming and tried to turn back around, but it was too late at that point as Mars will slice the defense in half. Florida Poly, I think they're a little bit out of sorts here. They're surprised at how quickly this one's gone downhill.
And Mars just got a piece of Rex, which delayed him getting back, and then he actually started to turn around, which I guess he assumed that his teammates were going to get a touch, but Mars slips it through. There was a small hole in the FPU defense, and he took care of it. And now 3 goals up are Platteville. And like you said, Cheese, just to reiterate, it feels like after such a fast start from Florida Poly, it's shocking to see them down 3 goals.
All they really want, I think, is to just put one on the board here and start to feel like themselves a little bit. Rex denied by Fluffball. Dezu needs to buy a lot of time here. And Mars able to sneak one through the midfield line, looking for Slow. Bob Stowe with plenty of time, but not enough. Doesn't get the ball across his net quickly, and Slow is able to just turn it in.
Yeah, tough position for Bob Stowe, especially with only 10 boosts. And Slow follows up his initial touch and just fastered the ball because Bob Stowe didn't have boosts. So 4 goals up are Platteville. And this game's starting to look like a wash for Florida Poly as they have certainly got to regroup here.
Yeah, you really might just have to write this one off. You're past the halfway point. You're down 4-0. I mean, it's really just kind of collapsed out of nowhere for them. And Florida Poly really just want to tighten everything up and say, okay, let's just get one on the board because we know we can do it. And that's a nice block from Dezu. 1-on-1 versus Slow here. Went for the bump, just missed it. Bob still weak clear met by Mars and handled by Rex in his own corner. Some space to work with here for the Phoenixes. Looking for Dezu and double tap. Won't even get there. Mars clears it out.
And that was another opportunity it feels like Florida Poly should have put away. Unfortunately, shot too high. And Platteville threatening slow, couldn't get the touch I think he wanted. But Florida Poly once again find themselves on defense. And this game, I think, has been a bit frustrating for them. When you talk about the way they started and the way this game is ending, I don't think they would have believed you if you had told them that. And unfortunately for them, they're not really finding many chances after the first minute or so.
It's kind of, you know, guys, we're going to go out there, play a great 90 seconds of Rocket League, and then just be confused the rest of the game. But Bob Stowe is going to rally back the troops a little bit here. A nice air dribble out of the midfield. Tough to follow that one out as well. And great car control to be able to stay with it, not get out in front, and just drill that one through the defense. But 3 goals in a minute. Yeah, this was a wash 2 minutes ago.
So our first look here, at least on stream for Florida Poly against Platteville, and unfortunately, I think that there was a lot of good in the beginning of the game, but as it comes down, they are able to get a second goal. There's 43 seconds left, so you at least want to get a goal with some time left on the clock, and maybe a late run here for Florida Poly if they can do it.
That was actually quite a shot from Bob Stowe. Beautifully executed, but it feels like all for naught. But, you know, you never know. This is 2 goals in about a minute. I mean, it's a lot more doable than it seems, given the context of this game. But you never know. Dezu had a chance. Bob Stowe trying to work a little bit more magic down the middle with a bump towards Mars, and they're trying to make a game out of this one. You gotta respect the hustle from the Phoenixes. And you can't help but wonder what could have been if they hadn't let this one get out of hand so early. As Fluffball will turn in number 5, and indeed, game 1 done and dusted. Platteville kind of take them to task here and rock the boat.
And Fluffball only having to score 1 goal, and that was the one that definitively put this game away right at the end here. Mars definitely showing up. I thought Slow played a phenomenal game as well, and Platteville, this was a solid effort from the team as a whole, especially, you know, weathering the storm in the beginning, playing up now to the speed of Florida Poly, matching it and even looking better than Florida Poly after those first couple of minutes. And boy, for the Phoenixes, they've got some work to do coming out here in game 2.
Yep, shake it off. There is not much you can do here except say, yeah, we knew we let in 2 goals that we really should not have at the start of this game, and Mars doing an excellent job. And Fluffball and Slow, well done to them as well. Of course, I mean, this was really a 6-save game for Mars, and it feels like all of that must have happened in the first 90 seconds, because you really did come out here thinking something completely different was going to happen, but then just 2 goals that you go, how in the world did those find their way into the back of the net? And from then on, Florida Poly, like we said at the start, just kind of have to turtle up, not make any mistakes. And sure, they get a couple back for the Florida Poly side with some nice shooting from Bob Stowe, but man, just don't let that one get away from you. And I think you really need to win this game too, because I think Florida Poly know that they're a better team than they showed in game 1.
Oh, absolutely. That was the point I think I was about to lead into, was I feel like from what we saw early from Florida Poly is that shot from Dezu couldn't go through. Bob Stowe's pass is wide, and Rexa is there. Fluffball, huge save on the goal line, and again, a quick start from Florida Poly, and they can't put it away.
There's more passing. Pass to Dezu is just a little too far, and he doesn't have the boost to track it down. And again, like you said, hot start from Florida Poly. Great looks on net. The finishing, though, falling a little bit short. All it took was proper placement or the proper pass placement, and both times a little off the mark, and the chances that looked like golden opportunities turned away because execution not on point. Mars with a lot of room to work with here, looking for the pass to Fluffball. He's got the defense beat, and Bob Stowe trying to get real aggressive here is way late. He's actually the furthest one from the play because Dezu cuts the ball shallow and forces Bob Stowe to try and challenge it.
And I gotta say, that was an impressive pass from Mars to get up and over those defenders, pop it up so high and hit Fluffball on a dime. And spectacular play from Platteville, and they really look like a cohesive team as they play. This is a very impressive team, at least on the synergy level. They always seem to be on the same page.
Great demo from Rex to open up some space for Dezu, but a terrible respawn. Takes the ball right off his nose. And Rex out of his own corner. Back towards his own back wall. Mars, a fairly lazy touch, I would say, into the midfield. No problem for the defense, but Fluffball again trying to pick on a little bit of a gap left open by Florida Poly, and that's what got him into trouble in game one.
And there's just, like you said, there's some weird gaps for the Florida Poly defense. This time they weren't punished. The shot was just wide of the mark, but it feels like for a team that plays so fast, they might be going too fast as they leave some open opportunity for the opposition.
Fluffball are going to capitalize. Slow is waiting for it. You can't afford to miss it, and thankfully the defense able to work that one back into the corner. Dezu struggling to stay with this ball. Mars will just take that into account. Bob Stowe trying to restart the offense here for Florida Poly. Slow with a strong catch. Rex punched into the midfield as Dezu is trying to track this down as well. And Florida Poly, you wonder if they've got any more of those beautiful passing plays they had at the start of games 1 and 2. Bob Stowe down to the middle. Fluffball will leave it for Slow, but Slow thought Fluffball was going to take it all the way, and everyone leaves for the Pioneers. The defense having to rush back a little here as a welcome clear from Fluffball out of the corner. And you said it, Corelli, he's your guy to watch on that Pioneer squad, and he is putting in the work on the offense and defense. Solid clear after solid clear, and he'll work the ball past the midfield line one more time.
And that's such a huge boon for a team to have a player that can work both sides of the field so well. And that's not to say that his teammates aren't either. But it just feels like Fluffball definitely is doing such a great job for Platteville and makes it tough for the opposition to deal with. Still, FPU are finding some semblance of an offense here. Bob still has an opportunity to keep it alive for them.
Oh, wow.
Dezu wants a bump on the last man, but look at the defense from Slow to stick with it. Had to dodge the demo and still gets in behind the ball.
Wow. I think I can really see why Florida Poly might get themselves into some tight spots. They're so willing to commit to a push before they really make sure that they've got possession of the ball. But at the same time, if they do come down with it, you understand why they're able to generate some real quality chances, because everyone is pushed forward so aggressively and so ready to try and score something. As Dezu actually takes the touch away from Bob Stowe, and Slow will tip it around, but Rex is uncontested here on his own half. Will wisely catch it. Fluffball will pinch it one more time into the middle. Slow is right there, drops it down. That's going to be hovering on the goal line. Mars undershoots it. Bob Stowe is going to bump the guy coming for the shot, and the Phoenixes indeed rise from the ashes to get that one out.
They're still here, and they might get themselves a goal as Platteville racing back, and they do get out of a tough situation. But boy, the defensive stand from Florida Poly, that is a way to keep yourself in the game. And now, what do you do with the time you've bought? Can you get one back? Can you tie it up with less than 30 seconds to go?
Time will tell. Bob Stowe looking for a strong clear past the midfield line. Comes up empty. Slow is going to tip that one forward. Here comes Fluffball. He's got a chance to put it away. Knocks it on target. Rex will communicate with Bob Stowe. You got a little bit worried there. Stop the heart for a moment. Bob Stowe clears it in between two defenders. Fluffball having a tough time handling it. Rex uncontested. Trying to tip it around Mars. It's a soft bounce. Bob Stowe, that's a great touch towards the backboard. He's going to have to get it himself. Goes left side. Fluffball will meet him. Dezu needs a soft catch here. Slow really putting the pressure on him. Rex is back to support on the goal line, and this is going to be tough to keep up. And Mars will smash it down.
Wow.
And the Pioneers 2-0 up.
And again, if you go back to the beginning of this game, you think maybe Florida Poly should have put one away. Platteville's offensive showing was a little bit less here in this game. They were held to a much closer scoreline, and more importantly, I think the defense played a lot better for the Phoenixes. But you really got to score some goals here because you have the opportunity. You had 5 shots, which was the equal of Platteville. So the opportunity is certainly there for Florida Poly. It really is about connecting and finishing, converting your chances here, because I think that's just the biggest thing. And of course, you know, they've been caught out a few times here and there, dicey situations on the goal line. That's just going to happen in a game of Rocket League. Certainly something to work on. But really, I think the biggest issue right now for the Phoenixes is just putting away that final shot, having a shot on target. Is that really is the issue at the moment.
Yeah, because they had the chances. No doubt. I mean, at the start of the game, they were passing circles around that Pioneers defense. It's like, all right, well, here comes the shot, and oh, no, not quite on target, or oh, no, just not placed perfectly, and the defense able to recover. And then, of course, at the end of the game, then they just struggled to even put a strong drive together. And sure, Bobstow had that one look at the net, but Fluffball all over it early, just unwilling to concede anything for free to that Florida Poly defense, and you've got to give a lot of credit to the Pioneers for being able to stay on top of a team that really does like to play so aggressively, and the fact that they've been able to worm themselves out of that incredibly present offense because they're so willing to be on their goal line and causing havoc and getting real aggressive to try and steal boost. It takes a lot of composure to play defense cleanly when everyone is just all over you like that. Hard bounce for Rex to handle, and again, Florida Poly find themselves down 1-0. I mean, Rex is in position, but he's just slightly too far forward and thinks he has time to get the boost.
He had no boost going into that either, so for Rex, it's just unfortunate with that bounce as well. That was almost worst-case scenario bounce for him. And unfortunately, Florida Poly find themselves down a single goal and maybe can earn one back here. Unfortunately, Bobstow doesn't connect.
Rex chipped into the middle. Bobstow catches a big piece of Mars, though. And Slow doing what his name says, controlling pace of play to his pleasure. Slow rips one top of the net off the bar, and Dezu to himself is going to need a lot of help. Looking for Rex into the midfield, looking for the right corner on the board. Florida Poly tie it up.
Great little pass from Dezu down to Rex, as that was right on the money. Fluffball couldn't go. Mars was on the challenge, but boy was he late. And FPU finally are able to connect on a great little passing play downfield. That's what you want to see from this offense, especially with that speed, that counter-attacking speed that we know this team has. They're able to convert here.
Fluffball taking his time off the backboard, and a beautiful clear just off the ceiling. Dezu, an equally beautiful challenge. This tough reaction save from Rex on his goal line means Florida Poly going to keep it at 1 here. Fluffball lifts one into the middle for Mars. It's over Rex's head, and indeed will just squeeze over the bumper, and 2-0 for the Pioneers.
That's a great little pop from Fluffball. You could see Rex still rotating back, or rather he had his back turned, and that's why he couldn't immediately challenge. Mars saw it, and again, it feels like Platteville are just so much on the same page that they really can do no wrong. Fluffball was out of boost. He was in a tough situation there, made the best of it with the pop. But Mars to immediately follow up is just so good from Platteville. And man, time and time again now, they have certainly put together a great little play where it feels like things had fallen apart, but they stay with it. That synergy is certainly there for this team.
Florida Poly consistently having to dive back from in front of the ball. Tough to get strong clears from your own half when you're constantly having to come at it from the wrong side of it. As Dezu takes a little bit of a detour up his backboard and didn't even get the strong clear then. So Slow out to Mars, off target, however. Rex able to split the defense. Slow providing support at the midfield line, and here comes Florida Poly on another counterattack, looking for Bobstow. Look at the speed, and unfortunately not able to reach the ball as Mars is able to tip it past 2, and here come the Pioneers one more time.
He got him.
Cuts Rex down, but hard touch, and he can't catch back up to it.
I don't even think he believed it. And Mars downfield now has to make a huge save, and he does. So spoiled chance downfield, but at least makes the save. And Florida Poly still trying to threaten. Dezu trying to force the issue through the first defender. As things start to slow down, still plenty of time here, coming up on 2 minutes left. So plenty of game left for both teams. Rex had the open net past that first defender. Bobstow's shot is past Mars, and we're all tied up.
And this time it's the Pioneers caught one step too far. Fluffball realizes he can't reach it, tries to take out Bobstow on the way. Can't get all of them, though. And you had to wonder if it was going to be another one of those Florida Poly just got to put it in the right spot. And it felt close, but again, it's going to just squeak by. And they managed to tie it up one more time, but can they find their first lead of the series here and force game 4? Oh, big miss from Mars. It means Fluffball is going to have a little bit of an awkward play to handle here in the corner is, again, there's that demo on that goal line before they even know they have possession, and that's the third time in this game that Rex gets caught forward.
And Mars takes advantage once more. 4 shots to his name, all 3 goals, and boy, look at that power over that last defender, and you're right, Rex got caught a bit, didn't expect that option from Mars, and boy, did he take it. And Platteville are looking better than ever.
And Rex, he went for that fake challenge and realized that, hang on a second, you can't really do that here because you're right, just got the ball smashed over his head. And again, Florida Poly needing something here, looking for Dezu upfield is Bobstow, but everybody up and in a bad spot here. That's a favorable bounce. Again, Bobstow making the snap reads on the hard bounces, is able to smash one into the middle.
And the defense got stretched here from Platteville. Mars just a bit late for that ball, and Bobstow just had to force it through. Great recognition from Florida Poly, and I think those are the types of goals that you would expect from this team. To make that defense be put in an awkward situation. The defense had boost to work with, but they just couldn't get back to the ball, and that was a great challenge from Bobstow to put everything together.
Always tough to follow that ball horizontally across your own half when on defense. It really does get those defenders moving and cause hiccups in the communication line as Fluffball puts one towards Bobstow. And here comes the Phoenixes one more time. Oh, a nice little chip around Fluffball, but nobody on Florida Poly expecting that one to actually have a chance as Mars will drip one out into the corner. Fluffball on the dribble. Great challenge and a favorable pinch. It's a tough ball to handle for Dezu. Definitely looking for the bump, and Mars was right there for it. Rex in the one-on-one, can't catch back up to it. He's just going to punch slow into the net and hope that his teammates can follow up here. And again, a dribble almost gone wrong. Bobstow can't quite bump Mars off the play. Rex will miss it. There's the demo, and if Rex had nailed it, it was a goal. But Slow is going to just take that ball into the blue side as Mars now has a chance to put the game away with a double tap. There's the save from Rex. Bobstow in a terrible spot will make the second save. Overtime looming here, and Florida Poly again refuse to go away on when you feel like they are down and out, and they are gladly going to smash this one into the floor.
Wow. That was so close for Platteville to end this series. And look at the shots. 13 in favor of Platteville to the 5 of Florida Poly, and yet still tied up here.
Dezu, dangerous chip into his own corner. Fluff ball into the middle. Nobody is home. Bobstow, I think, was looking for Dezu, but he didn't have boost. So Florida Poly not quite on the same page here with what they want to do. Slow, unable to beat Dezu. Bobstow wants it himself. Tries to go for that flip reset, but just doesn't quite have the command of the ball to do so. And right now, it's just the Pioneers on defense, just trying to stay with the play as much as possible. And I think that's the right move, because to be honest, you already know Florida Poly is going to commit real hard for something. And it's more than likely that they're going to get an opening, because they've done it, and here they do it again. Fluffball is going to beat a charging defender, nobody back, and that is the series for the Pioneers.
Such a tough challenge. It comes straight out to Fluffball, and again, Florida Poly very pushed up on that play. Again, I don't think they really expected the challenge to go that way, but that's just how the game goes. And for Platteville, I think this was a fantastic win. You know, you talked about Florida Poly, or everyone talked about Florida Poly having to play a very tough strength of schedule here early. Platteville could be on that list of teams that are very tough to beat, and maybe not on the same mark as Northwood, or Akron, but boy, they are a tough team to take on, and I think they proved it here once again over Florida Poly.
Yeah, an excellent series overall for UW-Platteville. Got to give them all the credit in the world, really having to play some very tight margins of error for how aggressive Florida Poly was approaching that game, and they did it with great aplomb. So well done to the Platteville boys coming out for the win there. Unfortunately, Florida Poly going to drop to 1-4 now. That win over Sioux College not going to increase. So well played, but I think they know what they need to work on here. They're going to have to take the rest of the night off.
Yeah, and we'll see. You know, I'm still going to keep an eye on Florida Poly, see what they have in store for the rest of the season. Again, they have played some pretty tough teams early, so we can see what they do against maybe more of the middle of the pack, and I do hope that they are able to turn their season around.
Well, tell you what, when we come back, we've got more of the CRL 2020 fall semester season coming up, and when we return, we'll have some more Rocket League.